Hello and welcome to the first set of previews for the Awakening of the Clone Wars mod. In this episode, we are going to be covering the first 8 or so new units that have been revealed for the Clone Wars mod that will soon be coming out. Here we are on the Awakening of the Rebellion Discord, and if you don't know already, they have a section called Mod Previews where they release the newest information and the newest updates for Awakening of the Rebellion, and obviously now the Awakening of the Clone Wars mod as well. So this is where they first released the trailers, and this is also where they have released the information for the newest units to be coming out. So, as Maxim says, a developer of the two mods, it is a tradition on this server that we will start to reveal the new units with more in-depth information about their stats, roles, and other pictures in the form of voting previews. You can choose what unit, which is associated with a code word and an emote, which will be revealed by reacting to the appropriate emotes. This will be the first of many rounds of the upcoming mod, since we have much to show off, so here are your options. So here are your options. We can vote, and after the first few weeks, which it has been, this came out 2 weeks ago it looks like, they have already revealed all of these new units for the Awakening of the Clone Wars mod. So in this episode, we are going to be discussing those new units. So here you are, you can see the voting polls for each new unit. Looks like the Armored Assault Tank won in the first round. And here it is, the Armored Assault Tank. To be more specific, this AAT is the Trade Federation version, which will be one of the starting units for the CIS. Compared with the current version in AOTR, this version has less health and uses anti-infantry rockets instead of anti-vehicle ones, but has greater speed and additional repeating blasters. These features will make the AAT version nice as an early generalist unit that can even fight other vehicles somewhat effectively. So it's a medium vehicle class, which is interesting because it seems to be like more of a light to mid vehicle. It's a main battle tank. Weapons include 1 medium laser cannon, 2 blaster cannons, 1 repeating blaster, and 2 anti-infantry rockets. 350 health, movement speed, pretty good. And its ability is power to weapons. So I'm really excited about this AAT. Not only is it going to be a really good unit, and a really fun unit, and a really essential unit to the CIS, obviously, a very popular one, but it tells us one thing. I believe there are going to be 2 different types of AATs, maybe in the Clone Wars mod. This one will be the first one to be used, right? The very early one, and it might show progression of the Clone Wars storyline. So as you start off, you have certain more poor units, and then as you go along and you unlock more technologies, just like in Awakening the Rebellion, you might get a second version of AATs that are more similar to the ones in AOTR, where they have anti-vehicle rockets and other things as well. So pretty cool first unit. I love AATs. They're one of my favorite units for the CIS. And looks like the second one to win is Coffee. Man, what a roller coaster of emotions. Yeah, Sneaky was trying to beat Coffee, and I even voted for Sneaky, as you can see, but Coffee was the one that won. And this is the Phase 1 Clone Troopers. Our Clone Trooper models are very detailed and have been optimized to ensure smooth gameplay even in big battles. It's a really nice detail. Clone Troopers are very sturdy and use a new grenade type, the EMP grenade, to counter droids. EMPs do great splash ion damage and stun hit droids. So I'm assuming it's very similar. Looks like they probably do damage, but are also very similar to the Tauntauns grenades in AOTR. So they're going to stun them as well. Clone Lieutenants using blue markings, while Sergeants use olive ones. So you can see we've got the blue markings right here, and then the olive ones right there as well. Pretty slick. Clone Rocketeers have targeting visors and wear backpacks to carry ammunition. In general, most clones have grenades, wear backpacks to carry them. So here are the Rocketeers as well. Now for the stats. So we've got a lot of different platoons, right? We've got the Trained Infantry Platoon. It has a role of frontline infantry. Their description is Clone Troopers are some of the finest soldiers in the galaxy, well-trained, well-disciplined, and perfectly loyal. Literally perfectly. Hint, hint. They are able to deal with the battle droids even when greatly outnumbered. And they've got some cool stats you can read there. They have a take cover ability. Increases defense but reduces movement speed. So not a great ability, nor do they have an additional one. And then we also have the Heavy Clone Troopers, which are described as anti-armor clone troopers specialized in eliminating vehicles and larger droids. Notice how it doesn't say structures. I love that. That's a really good detail. They are well equipped for this task, carrying rocket launchers and ion and concussion grenades. They also come with the take cover ability, And you can see the credits for the different mods, or the models and such. Really exciting. One detail that I do have a slight complaint is these guys kind of look like Commandos, Commandos with the visor, but I don't think that's a huge deal. If that's the biggest complaint I have, that's a very, very small complaint. So finally, it looks like Sneaky won this one. Oh yeah, this is Sneaky's big chance. Yeah, Sneaky blew him out too. So Sneaky won with an absolute insane lead, and this is the Sneaky Clone Commandos, just like I was just talking about. See how their visors, they're not that similar. The visors actually stick out a little bit more on these guys, so yeah, that looks good. Clone Commandos come in groups of 4, each member with the special weapons or other abilities to make them useful. I believe even though they're in groups of 4, you can individually pick them out, I'm assuming. Their DC-17 blasters are also great upgrades to standard weapons, shooting in burst and recharging quicker than standard equipment. They are, of course, stealth units, great for raiding, allowing them to raid every planet. Elite infantry class with the role of covert operations. Their description is Clone Commandos are specifically trained and equipped for covert operations behind the enemy line. They always work with a team of 4, holy cow, each member fulfilling a different role to lead them into a successful mission. They wear the special Katarn armor, which is heavier and more expensive than regular armor, but grants incredible resistance, making it hard to take out a clone commando. We've got a rifleman with a thermal detonator and proton charge, a medic with an ion grenade, a grenadier with a proton charge, and a sniper with an EMP grenade. So there's the 4 different types right there. They have the firing position ability, which is much better. Goes into firing position to increase fire rate and defense, but reduces movement speed. But keep in mind, they don't have a stealth ability, or like the cloak ability, and they don't have any other additional ability as well, like the mines. I like the place mine ability for the Commandos. That's a really good one. And the next one that looks like it won was the Bee. Yes, the Bee. And the winner was the Swarm. Or the Bee. And behind this code word in the emote is none other than the Bee. Yeah, there we go. In this showcase are actual 2 variants of the B1, the Standard Platoon and the Heavy Platoon. Both of these variants have different terrain textures, which is really cool. As you can kind of see right here, we have, if it'll load, we have the Geonosian kind of more darker red tint for, it says it right here somewhere. The Geonosian red-ish is for deserts and volcanic planets. The forested skins are for forest and swamp planets, so you got this one right here. The green skins, really good, really good. And then we have the regular one for urban, temperate, and Arctic planets. Obviously the classic B1 skin that we all love. And then we also have, you see the yellow for the Commando droids. I believe it tells this right here, so I won't. So the different terrain variants are also further enhanced with different markings depending on the B1 specific role. There's of course the yellow for commander, red for sergeant, and then heavy gunner squads have gray markings while grenadiers have blue. So the blue are grenadiers, and then it doesn't actually show where the gray ones are. Here are the gray ones right here. That's pretty cool. I love that. Let's see, we have B1s also have a negative trait called droid aim, which reduces their accuracy. This nerf was necessary to account for them being in such massive numbers and so cheap that without it, it would be very easy to steamroll planets with them. They have also been optimized multiple times to ensure that with over 600 B1s, the game still runs relatively smooth, so they can appear in their popular swarms. Lastly, here's the stats for the B1s. We got the B1 with a role of cannon fodder. That's hilarious, role of cannon fodder. Description: B1 droids are flimsy, easily destroyed, and yet seemingly infinite face of the Confederacy of Independent Systems. No longer reliant on the droid control ships, they can now think and operate independently, which is both a blessing and a curse for their commanders. They can be deployed in great numbers and are cheap and easy to replace. They have the hunt ability, that'll be good. 1 commander, 4 sergeant, 55 carbines. So it looks like they come in squads of maybe like 5? Yeah, 5 teams of 12. Crazy. And we also have the heavy B1 battle droid as well. I don't know why they didn't include the pictures of them. Description: heavy B1 battle droids carry heavy weapons such as repeating blasters or grenade launchers. Maybe they are, the gray ones, yeah. These weapons and additional programming require them to to make heavy B1s a little bit more expensive but remain fragile. They should therefore be positioned behind a wall of regular B1s so that their weapons can be put to good use before they are destroyed. They have 4 teams of 9, 1 commander, 3 sergeants, 8 grenadiers, 12 gunners, and 12 regular carbines. And they also come with the hunt ability. 5 health. Wow, that is really, really low. Next rounds. This is unrelated, but a really, really good thing. This is not the Clone Wars related, but rather a preview for the upcoming ATRT release, which is actually supposed to be coming out, I believe, next week maybe. We finally figured out how to edit the screen, and basically you now can see exactly what the text give, which is really, really nice. I'm glad they had that coming out. Back to the Awakening and Clone Wars stuff, but yeah, hint, hint. Should be an Awakening and Rebellion update coming out next week. One of the small ones. But I'm excited for that right there. And now revealing what's behind the code word Ostrich. It is the similarly fast walker, the ATRT, one of my favorite units. The ATRT gets a completely new model with new walking sounds and firing sounds. Otherwise, they're pretty similar to their role in AOTR, although a little bit weaker, as they are a starting unit of the Rebellion, or the Republic. Now here are the stats. We've got small vehicles, infantry fighting vehicle. The ATRT, the all-terrain recon transport, is one-man bipedal walker used for the reconnaissance and patrolling by the Grand Army of the Republic. It exchanges durability for superb agility and is armed with a blaster cannon, allowing it to fight infantry on its own. ATRTs can't hold their own against armored targets, forcing them to escape from such enemies. Here's some pictures of them. Here's a really, oh yeah, that's a good picture with the ARF troopers. ATRTs actually are one of my favorite units in all of Star Wars. Ooh, that's a good looking death shot right there. Looks like they've killed some infantry, as they do. Oh, whoa, go back. Is that an ATRT? Oh no, I thought the AAT was shooting a blue round, but that's stuff with the ATRT. That's cool. Oh, is that a hint at what the new little defensive buildings can be? The turrets? Why did I forget the word turret? Holy cow. Alright, next one. And up is the chicken, which I thought was going to be the ATRT, and it's actually the ATXT, which isn't super popular and common in the Star Wars universe. But the ATXT will be an early tech unit by the Republic to both fight infantry, but also damage vehicles with their concussion grenade launchers. So very similar to ATSTs, as it says. They are a medium tank with a light tank role, or a medium vehicle light tank role. Description: the ATXT is an experimental design intended to demonstrate the utility and effectiveness of two-legged medium combat walkers. It is armed with blasters and concussion grenade launchers, making it versatile but not specialized for either anti-infantry or anti-vehicle combat. So it's going to be good for both, which is really important. Its armor and shielding grant excellent survivability, making up for the relatively high production cost. So it looks like ATRTs are going to be your starting unit, and then you kind of get these ATXTs, and then maybe move on to the 170s. I forget what they're called, but the repulsor lift tanks that even the Empire uses. They have the full salvo ability. What do you have ability-wise? Turbo and Hunt. Ooh, Turbo looks like a speed increase. That'll be good. Alright, cool. So here's some pictures of the ATXT. You see these things in different parts of Star Wars, but they're not super popular in the Clone Wars, or super common in the Clone Wars. But I've definitely seen them before. I think they might have been even a little bit in like the Old Republic era. But I wonder if like these kind of turn into like ATDPs. You know, how they have like the little shielded instead of the open cockpit that the ATRTs have. Or you could just say they turn into ATSTs, that also works. And the next one is the cute Dwarf Spider Droids. We've got small vehicle, light tank destroyer, which is a good roll. These guys have an amount of 3, by the way. Ooh, they can travel through rough terrain. I'm not sure what that means. So we have the DSD-1 Dwarf Spider Droids were first provided to the CIS by the Commerce Guild. They are essentially walking anti-vehicle turrets, able to close in on their targets and either destroy light vehicles or assist other troops in combating heavier ones. DSD-1s are also able to self-destruct if their situation ceases to be viable. They come in amounts of 4, which is good. I like how they're considered light tank destroyers. I think that's going to be really, really cool. They only have the self-destructibility. But yeah, I love these things. I always thought they were a really cool CIS unit. Whoops, I meant to hit this button. I like how they kick up the smoke as well. I'm excited to really see what these guys can do. And for the last reveal of this round, so I'll do more voting polls, which is definitely why you should join the AOTR Discord, and so that you can see these things firsthand, and you don't have to wait for a video of mine. But we have the two-wheeled Hailfire Droid. A special unit, or a special feature of the Hailfire Droid is its ability to shoot its rocket barrage while moving, which we see in the movies, which makes it ideal for quick hit-and-run attacks, if properly microed. They are very frail, but can deliver huge damage with their new purple Hailfire rockets, which are very inaccurate against all non-big vehicles or structures. Ah, interesting. I didn't read that the first time. So they're inaccurate, very inaccurate, but they don't do a ton of damage. I was kind of hoping they would do a ton of damage, but what I'm assuming, as you can see in this one right here, it looks like they shoot a ton of rockets. So if each individual rocket maybe doesn't do a ton of damage, but if we're shooting a bunch of them, then the damage will stack pretty well. So the IG-227 Hailfire Droids were used by the banking clan to force debtors to pay their debts or face the consequences. They are glass cannons able to do serious damage with their anti-vehicle rockets and secondary blaster cannons, but unable to take a lot of punishment in return. Hailfires should therefore use their speed to get into favorable positions, launch their warheads from afar, and then rapidly retreat them from advancing enemies. There's a big shout out to this guy. Well, I don't know why his name's not popping up, but yeah, he was really important for making a lot of these models, which is really nice. I believe Clone Trooper is his actual name. And so there's a amount of 3 of these, which is literally my only problem. Is I feel like they should be an amount of 2 and scale their damage up a little bit, because if there's 3 of them and they're super fast and you want them to be able to be super maneuverable, I would hate to have that classic like traffic jam in Empire War where 2 units are getting too close, they stop moving, let the other guy go first, wait for the green light, and then they're allowed to go. So that's kind of why I'm like, I wouldn't mind seeing these go down to 2 and then just have their damage scale up a little bit. But that is it right now for the Awakening of the Rebellion. Actually, the Awakening of the Clone Wars, like I said. I'm going to be messing that up a lot. Clone Wars previews. So like I said, join the Awakening of the Rebellion Discord so you can hop into previews and get these things firsthand, as well as you can also drop your vote for which one you want to see next, which is always fun. They've done this in the past, like they've said. It's really, really fun. They do it all the time with different things. You can see all these different Awakening of the Rebellion previews before the updates come out. The trailers are always here, and I highly recommend joining it. And in the comment section, I really want to see, out of all of these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 new units, what is your favorite, and which one were you hoping they would reveal but they have not revealed yet? So definitely drop a comment down below and subscribe to my channel for newest Awakening of the Clone Wars updates.